Right now that people have your attention, I'm going to introduce the next speaker. Mr. Ravi Sharma, who is the Principal Officer, Technical Support for Implementation of the Secretary of the Convention on Biological Diversity. Ravi Sharma is Principal Officer of Implementation, Technical Support and Outreach Activities at the UN Convention on Biological Diversity. His responsibilities include engagement with the business sector to help them integrate biodiversity concerns in their strategies. He has over 20 years of experience in global environmental programs and public diplomacy. He has designed and executed more than 100 national and multinational projects and orchestrated more than 50 international meetings related to natural resource management. He's an economist by education.
Thank you, and I'm not going to take much time. You had a very long day today. I've been attending some of the sessions, in fact, moving around in the 6 sessions, which ranged through a number of major initiatives where businesses are involved. Access and benefit sharing is one of the signature programs, if one can say, of the convention, which led into a protocol in 2010, and which is something which creates an enabling environment for the business to function. Then there was the issue which we discussed today on safeguards, and I think it's also one of the critical issues within the convention, because if you look at various mechanisms which the convention has been discussing, which are extremely important to engage businesses, whether it's payments for ecosystem services, whether it's biodiversity offsets. One of the concerns always is being raised by a number of governments is when private sector gets into natural resource management, then how do you ensure that the rights of indigenous and local communities can be maintained? And it is a very sensitive political issue, and it's very good that the convention has recognized this issue and is willing to discuss it, and that's why there has been a discussion on what kind of safeguards can be established, which will advise and guide the businesses as far as their relationship with indigenous and local communities and the rights of these people are concerned when they talk about, when they deal with these natural resource management issues. So we hope it was a good discussion for businesses on this, and we'll continue that in a document which has been prepared and presented to COP11. I think received a number of inputs today, and it will be revised based on these inputs. Then the issue of supply chain management is again a very critical issue, because we keep on hearing that yes, there are a number of big companies and large multinationals who are able to integrate biodiversity into their operations, but then you have a number of small companies, small and medium size, who are much less informed about these issues, and whether these issues can be dealt through supply chain management by introducing sustainability concerns from the larger companies, and then flowing down to these small companies. So that's another important issue which we discussed. And of course, agri-food, knowing that agriculture is the most important sector as far as biodiversity conservation is concerned. We're very happy that we have a group of companies today here which started talking about it, and we need to continue that engagement. Extractive industries, I don't need to say much more about it, extremely important group for biodiversity. A lot of good work is being done by that sector, and a lot of good examples were mentioned today. And lastly, retail and consumer goods. So it's a good spread of discussion today, and I think a very good spread in the sense of the potential impact it will have on achieving the goals of biodiversity. Now, my sort of request to you would be that we heard some very good case studies. It's very clear that a number of good examples and a lot of knowledge and experience, intensive and extensive, by companies on how to deal with these issues. And as one of the persons, I think he's not here, from John Molson, the business school, was saying that the discussion to him looks like that we are like 30 years ahead as far as the business schools are concerned on what they're teaching. And so that's a good example of the kind of leadership which we are seeing here. But we also know that this is not sufficient. You look at the statistics, the biodiversity is declining and the rate is not slowing down. So the challenge for us is how to scale up all these good examples. And my request would be that if tomorrow people can start thinking of how do you think that the successful examples which you were able to achieve on the ground can be scaled up. What is it that is required from governments? What is it required from, for example, finance industry? What is it required in terms of public awareness, which can be instituted at global level, which would help scale up these activities? And that's what I hope when we conclude our discussions tomorrow, we can pick up that kind of information and take it to the next conference of parties. So with that, I will again like to thank all the speakers today and all the participants for a very good discussion beyond our expectations. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Sharma, and once again I want to thank the Secretariat for the Convention of Biological Diversity for the support that they've given us in organizing this event. Once again, I point to the various side events that will be taking place in some of the rooms along the corridor there, and see you here tonight at 6:30 for the cocktails, and tomorrow morning for 9 o'clock for the rest of these sessions. Thank you very much.